Shabbat Shalom and good morning. I'm glad to be with you once more. I want to take a few moments to reflect with you on the week now ended, to peer into Shabbat, and then to imagine the world that we will create that lies beyond the horizon. This past week we marked two special occasions. The first, Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, on which we pause to remember and to reflect upon the sacrifice of those soldiers and those citizens of Israel who paid the ultimate price in defense of the homeland, in defense of the ideals and all that Israel represents on the world stage. And then Yom HaZikaron gives way immediately to Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day. The juxtaposition of these two events, Yom HaZikaron, a day of sober memorial, and Yom HaAtzmaut, a day of raucous celebration, is a significant way of understanding Jewish history. For there is never a moment of celebration that does not also involve a bit of realism and memory. And so it is that as we step beneath the chuppah to celebrate a wedding, we break a glass, reminding ourselves of the fragility of the world and of relationships themselves. Traditionally, when painting a Jewish home, it's traditional to leave a corner of the home unpainted, representing the unfinished and incomplete nature of the world. And indeed, challah, the bread that we eat ceremonially, or actually we eat it lustfully, we eat it with great hunger and appetite, but that is created ceremonially. The word challah takes its name from a piece of the dough that is traditionally removed from the loaf and tossed into the fire before the loaf itself is baked into bread. Challah is the part that is removed and has given way to giving itself to the name of that sacred loaf of bread that represents so much joy and so much hope. And so we see that the juxtaposition between memory and celebration, between the everyday and a realization of the challenges that are necessary for us to overcome, this is part and parcel of our Jewish story, indeed the human experience. For this reason, I want to point out to you the podcast link that's embedded within this email. It's an edition of an episode from Judaism Unbound. I had the privilege with our former president, Harlan Stone, of being a guest on that program. And this particular episode is an important one because it invites us to begin to imagine the Jewish world that will come to be in the process now, but that we will begin to co-create together after coronavirus begins to subside. It's an important challenge. It's a bit, how should we say, frightening, challenging. Certainly some call on us to be creative and to be open-minded. I want to share that with you. I commend to you the entire podcast. It's all of about 50 minutes, but the first 20 minutes are really essential and are speaking to some of the issues that we are beginning to discuss as we imagine the High Holy Days, next school year, and what it will mean to do congregation in the 21st century. I hope you'll join me, not only this Shabbat as we celebrate the Bat Mitzvah, not only this coming week as we continue to study and draw nourishment from our tradition and reach out to newsmakers in our community, but on the horizon, into next year and the years to come, as we continue to create and fashion the Jewish world that we imagine. They'll bring meaning into our lives. They will help to bring repair into our world, and that will reimagine what we can together create. I look forward to our conversations, and I wish each of you a Shabbat Shalom, health and safety. Be well.